Hi, welcome to Japanese Craft Beer Reviews. Today let's look at a beer that's not a Japanese craft beer, but is absolutely a complete, total classic beer. It's made by an American craft brewery, which is actually one of the largest craft breweries, and actually one of the largest breweries in the United States. That beer is this one. It's called Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. And Sierra Nevada is a company that started in California, in Chico, California, which is sort of in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, east of San Francisco. And it was founded by Ken Grossman and a partner, whom he bought out later. And Ken Grossman actually, I guess he's from Los Angeles, but went to college in Chico. And in 1969 he began homebrewing. He was so interested in homebrewing, but apparently he had to hide it from his mother. I'm getting this information from the Sierra Nevada website, so you can check it there. In 1976 he started a homebrew shop in Chico, California, where he had gone to a junior college, and he opened a brew house there, and in 1980 opened up the company and brewed the first version of this beer, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. And it introduced, apparently he went through many iterations and finally found that the new Cascade hops were the ones that really gave it the punch and made it perfect. So Cascade hops were apparently new at that time, and he found a way to put them into the beer and make it an absolute classic beer, pale ale beer. In 1983, he introduced Bigfoot, which was a massive barley wine, over 100 international bittering units, and apparently there was nothing quite like that at the time, and so he became quite famous for that. I have a bottle of, I've had Bigfoot many times, and I do have I think a 2004 bottle, and a friend of mine has a 2005, and sometime we're going to compare them. And in 1987 he opened up a new brewery, and in 1993 they put out the first wet hop beer called Celebration. And a wet hop beer is a beer in which the staff goes out and picks the hops, they harvest the hops, and get it into the beer within 24 hours. So within a day, the hops go from the vine or bine into the brew kettle. So, and in 2009, he developed Torpedo Extra Ipa, which was a dry hopped beer, and it's one of their most popular ones now. And in 2015, they took a big step and expanded to a new brewery on the East Coast, or on the east of the United States, in North Carolina. So they have two breweries now, one in Chico, the main one, and then one in North Carolina, which his son is the manager of. It's a family-owned company, and actually it's the 7th largest brewing company in the United States. So the Craft Beer Association has kind of tied themselves in knots and trying to figure out how to keep big companies like Boston Beer Company and Sierra Nevada into the craft beer fold, and they've done it by simply expanding the amount of beer that will qualify you as a craft beer brewer, expanding the amount. So. So he is a billionaire. He's one of the first craft beer billionaires, along with Jim Koch of Boston Beer Company. And another point about this company is that they're very proud of their environmental record. They've always been very careful about energy consumption, the use of solar panels, adopted quite early on, the use of a Tesla battery, and that sort of thing. So they take great pains to be careful with their energy usage and recycling as well. So quite a good environmental record. So quite a company, a company that never really rested from the get-go. And let's look at this beer here, which is called Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. And this is on Rate Beer, a pale ale, American style, 5.6% alcohol, 38 international bittering units, so a little bit high on the bittering. And on the back, it's got a little description which says, "The pale ale in your hand sparked the American craft beer revolution. Bold and complex, with pine and citrus notes from whole cone Cascade hops, this pale ale was first brewed in 1980 and introduced a generation to the glory of hops. Our pale ale is still a classic, and Sierra Nevada Brewing Company is still 100% family-owned, operated, and argued over." So apparently his son and daughter will take over the company when he retires, which shouldn't be too long. I think he's 66 now. Well, we'll see. In any case, and his daughter is actually named Sierra. So this beer has a lot of ratings. On Rate Beer, it has 6,829 ratings, and the average is pretty high, 3.71. 92 percentile for all beers on Rate Beer, 97 for its style, which is Pale Ale American. Untapped, almost 500,000 ratings, 459,096, and an average score of 3.64. The malt bill for this is 2-row pale malt and caramel malt. The hops are Cascade and Cascade, so the bittering and the flavor and aroma hops are both Cascade. I have rated this before. It was quite a while ago. I've had it several times since then, but about 8 years ago, and I rated it 4 out of 5, 4.0 out of 5, so very high. Okay, I'm looking forward to this. I haven't had this one in quite a while. A friend of mine who's a brewer in Tokyo, actually Chiba now, whose views I respect very highly, recently posted a picture of this, and apparently it was his after work beer, and he was just saying, "My God, it's still so good." So let's give it a go. Okay. Right away it has a nicely balanced aroma. It's got a lot of freshness, some pine and citrus. So if you want to consider a classic aroma, you get Burton-on-Trent, beers in England, and then the West Coast pale ales in the U.S. And the Cascade hops just do a marvel on this. To me, what it really smells like is a very young barley wine. And it's got all the elements that would, if expanded, would become a barley wine. So it's a very pretty copper gold color, clear, some carbonation rising. Half a finger of kind of creamy head. Nice lacing on there. Pulling away. Okay. So again, from the initial, it's balanced, very well balanced. I would say probably going in the direction of bitterness. Mid palate is a bit bittersweet, and finish is balanced. So this is balanced all the way through. Medium body. Maybe a bit heavier than most pale ales, but still, this is just eminently drinkable. Even at 5.6%, you could put away several of these, I think, easily. So there's the bottle, and I'd love to have this on tap sometime. Wonderful, wonderful beer. It's got a complex sort of fruitiness. It is so well made, you can't really pull things out, and so well balanced. everything is integrated, the malt, the caramel, the cascade hop element. It's just all very well blended. This is available several places in Japan. I don't remember exactly where I got this. It could be at a Seijo Ishii store, perhaps, but I think if you search online, you can find it in Japan, and of course in the U.S. it's available almost everywhere. Yeah. So once again, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, a complete classic pale ale from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company in Chico, California. And does this specify where it was brewed? I guess not. Either one of those two places, Chico or Mills River in North Carolina. But this is one, this is definitely a bucket list beer. You've got to try this one if you've never had it. And probably try it more than once to really enjoy this beer. Okay, well that's it for today. We're going to look at a beer from a Japanese company next in our next video, and I hope you tune in for that. Please take care. Bye-bye.